Welcome to Ezra's Chronicles, a space where faith, poetry, and wisdom are embraced. Today is Saturday, February the 22nd, 2025, and this weekend's poet in review is the captivating W.H. Auden. I've only heard of him in passing, so it was a pleasure for me to find out more about him and his life. And so without further ado, the life and work of W.H. Auden. Tonight we step into the world of one of the greatest poets of the 20th century, Wystan Hugh Auden. A poet of modern anxieties, love, politics, and faith, Auden's words captured the spirit of his time while remaining timeless. Born in 1907 in New York, England, Auden was a child of science and literature. He studied at Oxford, where he found his voice as a poet. He was inspired by T.S. Eliot, Old English poetry, and the disillusionment of a world teetering on the edge of war. The 1930s saw Auden rise as a voice of his generation. His poetry explored politics, morality, and the human condition. With a keen ear for rhythm and a sharp wit, he wrote about the looming threat of war and the struggles of ordinary people. Auden. Yesterday all the past, the language of sighs spreading to China along the trade routes, the diffusion of the counting frame and the cromlech, yesterday the shadow reckoning in the sunny climates. Auden was not just an observer, he was a participant. He traveled to Spain during the Civil War, witnessed its brutality, and infused his poetry with a moral urgency, but the turmoil of war also led him to question his beliefs. In 1939, on the eve of the World War II, Auden left England for America. This move changed him profoundly. He renounced his earlier political idealism and focused on themes of love, faith, and human fallibility. Auden. I sit in one of the dives of 52nd Street, uncertain and afraid as the clever hopes expire of a low, dishonest decade. His poetry became more introspective, more philosophical. He explored Christianity, the limits of human knowledge, and the complexity of love in the works like The Sea and the Mirror and The Age of Anxiety. Later in life, Auden settled in Austria, where he continued to write until his death in 1973. His poetry, once filled with urgency and political fervor, softened into meditations on aging, solitude, and faith. Auden. Lay your sleeping head, my love, human on my faithless arm. Time and fever burns away individual beauty from thoughtful children, and the graves prove the child ephemeral. A poet of contradiction, of love and loss, of faith and doubt, W.H. Auden's words continue to resonate. He captured the uncertainty of his time, and in doing so spoke to all times. A poet of the modern age, yet eternal. I've randomly selected 3 poems from Auden. The first is Funeral Blues, the second is called Another Time, and the final one is Here War is Simple. So without further ado, Funeral Blues. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone, silence the pianos and with muffled drum, bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. Let aeroplanes circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead. Put crepe bows round the white necks of the public doves. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out every one. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to any good. Another Time. For us, like any other fugitive, like the numberless flowers that cannot number, and all the beasts that need not remember, it is today in which we live. So many try to say not now, so many have forgotten how to say I am and would be lost if they could in history. Bowing, for instance, with such old world grace to a proper flag in a proper place, muttering like ancients as they stump upstairs of mine and his, or ours and theirs, just as if time were what they used to will when it was gifted with possession still, just as if they were wrong in no more wishing to belong. No wonder they so many die of grief, so many are so lonely as they die. No one has yet believed or liked a lie. Another time has other lives to live. And finally, war is simple. Here, war is simple like a monument. A telephone is speaking to a man. Flags on a map assert that troops were sent. A boy brings milk in bowls. There is a plan for living men in terror of their lives, who thirst at 9, who were to thirst at noon, and can be lost in awe and miss their wives, and, unlike an idea, can die too soon. But ideas can be true although men die, and we can watch 1,000 faces made active by one lie. And maps can really point to places where life is evil now. Nanking, Dachau. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed your time here at Ezra's Chronicles. W.H. Auden is a very excellent poet, and I urge you to please look into more of his work, as I will as well. And that'll be all. Godspeed and farewell.